45-ish minutes, which are going to be awesome. So you're going to want to stick around. But before that, we have a gentleman who is going to be on stage with Ignite Denver for his third time, I just found out. And I'm like, what the hell, Mr. DeLay? You've been here, it's your third time, but we haven't met, so clearly you don't exist, because anything pre-me does not count. I was wrong, and I've been since humbled. Now, there's a reason that I have to introduce him as Mr. DeLay, as he is, in fact, a middle school teacher. He's very nervous to speak in front of you, so if you could all just act like middle schoolers, that would be super cool. There you see, I've warmed you guys up. He actually had an aneurysm when he was 26, and in 2015, he had something else bad happen. But he's fine, he's right back there, and he's ready for number 3, so please applaud for Mr. DeLay. Sorry.
It was a stroke at 26 and an aneurysm scare in 2015. It's my fault I didn't email her stuff until like literally 5:15 today.
The last one.
I'm the worst kind of human being, and I apologize. Having said that, the following presentation is my opinion and mine only. It does not represent Metro State. It does not represent any school district I've been in. I just need to say that. My name is Mr. DeLay. I am a pre-service teacher. I'm not quite a middle school teacher. I've got a year to go till student teaching, so I'm not that cool yet, but I'm getting there. When I tell people that I am learning how to be a secondary ed teacher, they have one of two reactions. One is they're really excited because I'm going to change the world. The other is they're looking at me going, are you going to do middle school? Because that would be a bad decision. Because middle school is a post-apocalyptic wasteland of acts, drama, girl drama, boy drama, and more drama than your llama. It's insane. That's what people think of it. And up until last semester, I believed all of this. I was ignorant. I was blissfully ignorant. I didn't really think that middle schoolers were that cool. I didn't imagine that I'd ever be teaching them or want to teach them in any way, state, or form. I hadn't been in middle school since 1997. Those are the reasons why. 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. It gets progressively worse. I didn't want to go back, and I don't think a lot of people have a good experience in middle school, and so I went into it knowing that I was going to be going into an interesting experience. I can't see that monitor. I started my first day on September 14th. I met over 120 students in an 8-hour period. 120 students, all 7th graders, all weirded out by me because I was in their classroom. I then spent approximately 205 hours with them. Now to calculate that out, which you're gonna see in the next slide is, that might not sound like a lot to you, but I spent 56 hours a week in various activities. 16 of those hours was with those middle school students. So approximately, give or take, I spent 30% of my week with these middle school students, on top of my school and on top of my part-time job at Starbucks that drained my soul. So there was a lot of time. I love Starbucks, I still work for them. Just say that as well. I'm 34 years old and I forget what it's like to be a middle schooler, and so I had to, as I got into the experience, I had to readjust. Because I'm 34, I'm older than these guys, and I had to put myself back in Mr. DeLay as a middle schooler. Jess was one of my students who changed me. She stood up for a lot of kids. She was basically the anti-bully in the hallways. She wrote some amazing poetry. This one talks about part of her cultural situation, but also about how she stands up for people. She was also her identity as a Muslim student, which she struggled with because outside of school and other venues, she would get looks, she would get words said to her, but she wrote this out of a place of strength. And that was so inspiring to me, I can't even tell you. Tom arrived middle of the semester with us, and we didn't really know what had happened to bring him to us, but we were certain there was some things that weren't very good. So he was looking for hope, and I sat down with him one day because he had taken a test that tells us his score. He should have been in the 6 through 8. He was college and career ready as a 7th grader. The smile and the look on his face and the excitement and the joy that he had in that moment changed me. Katie was a student who was very nonverbal with me, wouldn't speak to me, so I basically made it my goal to be her friend. I said good morning, good afternoon, and good night for the better part of 4 months. That was our extent of our conversations. However, on the last day, she sidled up to me, and I freaked out a little, what's going on? She showed me her iPad. She says, can you take a look at this story? Sure. Started reading it. I kid you not, a college professor teaching creative writing would have been blown away. It blew me, it shook me in ways I can't even explain to you, that this young little lady was just pouring out her soul into this amazing story. There's more I could tell you. Attending band concerts, watching them perform. They have a Be More Awesome club where they put stickers on their lockers telling the other kids how awesome they are. Ninja Pig was a donation from one of my students. It sits on my fridge to this day. We took apart Langston Hughes' I to America. They came up with this idea, this poem, Dothead, and they took these ideas and these thoughts about racism and all this cool stuff, and they understood it. I had an experience where I gave a student a series book, and the next day, Mr. DeLay, I'm gonna need the next series. I cannot tell you, I did a dance in the hallway. It was so awesome, and middle schoolers are amazing, and being a middle school teacher matters. That is my host teacher, and her care and the level of interest that she showed in her students was soul-shaking, because she cared what they had going on. They cared what they loved. And I challenge you today, if you have the ability, if you have the chance to be a teacher, to be a mentor, to be a big sister, big brother, whatever it is, to show a middle school student that what they have inside them, that what they have around them, that what they have contained in their heart and their brain, it absolutely matters. Because if you tell a student they matter, if you show them that you care for them, and if you tell them that what's going on in that head of theirs, that that's important, the world, that their little world will change in extraordinary ways. And I can tell you this, that they changed me more than I changed them, and that's a big deal. So I encourage you, if you have a chance to meet a middle schooler and show them and get to know them and tell them how awesome they are, take it, because good gosh, it puts a man in tears on stage. Thank you.